ever questioned whether or not your live video content is effective? Is it good content or is it bad content? Are you getting the engagement views? Are you making a difference to your audience? Well, if you have thought about that, whether you have been going live or you're considering going live, today I'm going to share with you some tips on how you, as a business owner, can improve your live stream content. So if this sounds like a topic you're interested in, do consider sticking around. Now, if you are new to me, welcome. My name is Janine. I'm a live video strategist, the founder of Video for Bosses, and I teach business owners how to create engaging, professional live stream content to increase their visibility and their brand presence on social media. I have nearly a decade's experience of this. I'm not new to it. So the things that I talk to you about, the things that I share with you, 100% are tried and tested, things that I have learned and have evolved over the years for my own strategy, as well as those of my clients, past, present, and you guys that are the future to come. So before I start chomping on and setting myself on a dream, I need to just do the usual thing, right, guys? I need to check on the old sound quality, make sure that everything is okay. Sound and visuals are good. Let me know on this live stream where you are tuning in from today. I'm refreshing my screen because I am streaming across not one, not two, but 3 platforms. So we are live on YouTube. We are live on LinkedIn, and we are also live on Facebook, my favorite. Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome. Good to see you tuning in. I can't yet bring your comment up on the screen, but I can see you, Elizabeth. I can see you. How do I know you're here, Elizabeth? Because you've got to have yourself the second device. So, my friends, if you're ever wondering, you go live and you wonder, can somebody see me? Can they hear me? I always share this with my community and say, have yourself a second device, have your mobile or an old mobile that's running off of your Wi-Fi so that you can see how you actually appear and sound to your audience who are watching you via their mobile. And if they're on YouTube, might be watching on the big screen. So am I coming through clear? Yes, I can hear myself. Everything is good. So this is going to be a wonderful topic. And I always love to give you context as to why I'm sharing on the specific topic. It's never just plucked out of thin air. Some of you might be thinking it is, but it's always with intention. Now, if you saw the actual event, you saw the scheduled live stream, you would have seen that this has come as a result of me having a recent conversation with a business owner who wants to work on their strategy for building their live video presence on the platform TikTok. And one of the things that this business owner said to me was like, do you know what, Janine? It's not an issue for me to go live. I'm confident to be on camera, but I want to figure out how to create the kind of content that's going to get engagement, that's going to get the community, people responding to it. So I figured that this would be a good topic to discuss with you at the top of the week. Now, is this something that you yourself have considered when it comes to going live? You may not be very confident with going live. You may be like, I don't know where to start. I'm nervous about managing all the moving parts. Or maybe you are somewhere in the middle at the other end saying, well, I am confident like this business owner. I just need to learn some of the things. And I wanted to make sure that I'm always giving you, when we come and do these live streams, I'm always giving you context to the topics. Hello, Lady Eve. I hope that I pronounced your name correctly, tuning in from Facebook. Thank you very much for being here today. So we are going to be chopping this up for T-minus as long as it takes, because I'm going to give you a full breakdown, all right? I'm not one of these coaches that will just throw something out there without giving context. So make sure that you got yourself your notepad and your pen. Get yourself a cup of tea and a cup of coffee, because today we're going to be asking this question. Is your live video content good or bad? Now, I know a lot of you that are out there watching under the sound of my voice, whether it's live or replay, you'll be saying to yourself, well, Janine, I go live. Of course, my content is good. By the way, before I continue on, I have to say to you, happy Monday to you. Some of you might be wondering why I'm singing, but if you weren't aware, 3 weeks ago, I had an accident and ended up in hospital, fully dislocated my knee with my patella ended up at the back of my leg. Today, I had a lovely acupuncture session and I'm feeling on top of the mountain. So you're going to have to forgive me if I'm a little bit more quirky than usual. But yes, I'm feeling happy today. So we have Joy Ann here. Thank you very much for joining today from LinkedIn. Good to see you. I'm not sure why we can't see Elizabeth's comment, but I do know that Elizabeth is here. So wherever we are or wherever you are today, I really want you to consider some of these points, even if you think that you are confident. And this is not to bash anybody who is saying that they do feel confident with their live streams. But I do want to, my job as a coach, as a strategist, is to push you, to stretch you in your thinking, to stretch you to be better than you are, to be the very best that you can be. And when it comes to live streaming, it's really important that you and I are always considering things from the viewpoint of the person or people that are on the other side of the screen. Whether they are speaking, whether they're interacting or not, this is really important from the get-go that we do this. Now, I've spoken about good content versus right content. And as the expert that you are, of course you have good content because you are the expert within your field. You know the pain points and needs of your audience, absolutely 100%. But right content is creating the kind of content that speaks directly to the person you're trying to target. And when it comes to ourselves, with the best will and intentions, we sometimes miss the mark. Right? And I'm calling myself here. Like, as I said, I did not fall out of the womb and stand up. I've made all the mistakes that I'm talking about over the years so that you do not have to. So as much as your content may be good, you have to consider, how does Joyanne feel watching my content? How does Elizabeth feel watching my content? And whoever else is here, how do they feel watching my content? Lady Vay, how do you all feel? And everyone else that's watching live or replay. It's my job to always consider that, because then I'm going to create the very best viewing experience for my audience that is going to be the leverage for my growth. Is this making sense? Please let me know if this is making sense, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Yes, I can see you now, Elizabeth, tuning in from Virginia. It's so good to see you. So I've given you the visual. I want you to just, as I said, if you have any questions, if there's anything that you think about as we are going along this live today, please do drop it into the comments, live or replay. No question is silly. But if you feel that you don't want to ask the question publicly, my virtual doors are open. So please, please, please do feel free to drop me a DM. I would love to hear from you and I'm here to help you. So if you are ready for today's content, please do give me a hand up emoji in the comments or your favorite emoji to let me know that you are ready, because now I'm going to get into the meat and potatoes, sharing with you some tips to improve your live streams as a business owner. All right, so let's get into the first part of this session. The first thing I want you to consider is, do you struggle with achieving viewer interaction? Let me know if this is something that you do struggle with. Put it into the comment section. One of the things that I want you to think about is that when it comes to live stream content, when it comes to long form content as a whole, whether it's video on demand or live stream content, you have to look at it differently to the types of content, i.e. short form content. You have to look at it differently to the platforms like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, etc. Anything to do with Reels, short form video, you have to look at it differently. Long form live stream content is a nurturing strategy, which means it is a longer term strategy. If you want to go for the quick hit, I want to go viral, I want to get to the masses quickly, which we can't do that anymore. We've got as much reach as we can. We've maxed out for the short form video content. Trust me, we have, right? But you have to think of it very, very differently. This is why a lot of business owners get discouraged when it comes to going live. They're like, oh, no one's watching me, or not many people are commenting. Perhaps I'll go and I'll do a reel, because you're thinking about it in the sense of, I want to do what is quicker. And I get it. Everyone wants to cut their learning curve in half. I understand that. But when it comes to this, it's not about cutting your learning curve in half. It's thinking about things differently. You have to have a different mindset when it comes to short form versus long form content. All right, is that making sense? Do let me know. I'm glad that you are learning. Thank you so much. So let's just have a little bit of a conversation around some of these challenges and some things that you need to consider. The first thing I want to say to you is your mindset towards live video is what counts. So when it comes to the mindset, I want you to be thinking about these key 3 things. Number 1 is about being confident to deliver your message. As the 100% need to go into this knowing that you know your subject matter. Don't let the real-time experience put you off, because when it comes to the real-time experience, no one is expecting you to be perfect anyway. So please do not let that be a deterrent for you. Go into what you're doing with the fullest of confidence to deliver your message. Your audience, your community will be responsive to that. The more confident you are, the better they're going to engage and respond to that piece of content. If you are all over the place and you're visually not confident, then that's going to translate to those who are watching you. And when I'm talking about confidence, this is not about you thinking, well, I can't make a mistake. This is not about you saying, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I don't know how to? You're on a journey and your audience will go on the journey with you. Your confidence doesn't mean that you won't make a mistake. I trip up on my dentures all the time. See, I just did it there. But it's about you saying, regardless of that, I'm showing up with confidence. Regardless of that, I am going to make sure that I'm consistent in my delivery, because I know consistency will lead to results. So therefore, I have to be patient. I have to be patient in this process. And like I said, a lot of people are not patient in the process of their growth in live video and are missing out on an opportunity. And I'm going to use this as an example on a number of different platforms. So like I said, we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, and we're also on Facebook. And all the platforms are similar. They have similarities, but they are still very different. So what I will say to you is that when it comes to this, when it comes to, like I've said, about being patient in the process, think about the nurturing. Think about the consistency. Think about the schedule that you're going to create. Think about how you're going to create awareness. And we spoke about a lot of these things on last week's live. So I don't want to get into that too much now, because I will link that live so you can go back and look at that again. The next thing is that when it comes to your mindset, is understanding how to relate to your audience. And this is something that will happen over time. Right? It will happen over time. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't expect too much too early from yourself. But if you are going into patience in the process, consistency, going in there confident, you're going to see the results. I hope this is making sense. So one thing I want to say to you is, if so far you are enjoying today's content, do let me know in the comments. And also, please do share if you feel like this topic is going to be of benefit to your audience. Let's get on to the second point. So now we've talked about mindset. Where should you get started? So if you're like, okay, I get it, the mindset, where do I start? So this is what I want you to consider for point number 1. So the first thing I want to say to you is that it's about attraction. So what makes your live content attractive to the audience? If someone is scrolling on a platform, what is going to make them stop their scroll? What is going to make them listen, read, for example, your introduction to the actual piece of content? If it is opting in for a reminder, a notification, or to go and participate in the event, what's going to make them do that? Well, firstly, you want to think about the title of your live stream. You want to set the expectation. You want to make sure it's very, very clear to your audience. If they are going to attend the live, why should they? I'm going to say this. I've seen a number of business owners, because as I said last week, I consume a lot of content, a lot of live content. I'm constantly auditing, reviewing. I don't necessarily comment, but I see a lot of you that are live on LinkedIn that I'm connected to, a lot of you that are live on other platforms like Facebook that I'm connected to as well, that I have some affinity with, or relationship, air quotes, have some form of, when I say affinity, it's relationship, you know what I mean. I am watching. I'm very much aware of what people are doing. And I think what happens for a lot of business owners, some of you are not going to like it, is that you will put a value, you'll put in your title or the caption what the live stream is about. But then you go live. I've seen business owners go live, and I've been sitting there waiting for them for what they're saying to translate and represent what they put in their caption. So these are simple little things. And I know it's easy. It's very easy when you first start going live. It's very, very easy, especially when there's not many people talking, or you look at the number and you say, oh my gosh, the live number doesn't say many people up there. There's no one. What do I do? So there is this panic of feeling like you need to fill up the space. But I want to encourage you when it comes to attraction, set the expectations and make sure that what you say marries up with what is in the title. So this is the hook. We hear about hooks on short form video content. It is still very much relevant to your live video content. The next thing is the actual content of the live. So I talk a lot about value proposition. Are you making it clear about the WIIFT? For those of you that have been following me for a while, you're part of my community, you will know what hashtag WIIFT means. It means what's in it for them, not for you. What's in it for me? It's what's in it for your audience. We have to make our community, we have to make our audience care. It's not enough that I'm the expert and I know what I'm talking about, so you should listen to me. It would be great if that was the case. Gone are those days now. Live stream, you have to be very, very intentional. So you have to tell people why they should be giving their time to you. So the value proposition is extremely important, because the value proposition is going to be part of the attraction piece when it comes to your live video content. And something else that a lot of people are not going to like me for, I don't have to be like, for the third point that I've made there, personality. It's really important that you are allowing your personality. Don't leave it at the door. A lot of business owners are leaving their personalities at the door because we have to be professional. And of course, I understand that. I'm very intentional with my live streams, but you will see in my live streams, there are lots of different layers to the cake that I'm baking. And I'm not afraid to do that, because I understand that, and I want you to understand that a huge part of the success of what you're doing to build and nurture, develop those relationships that lead to conversions, that lead to sales, is about you developing the relationship with people, creating that experience, demonstrating your unique selling point. Because if everyone is an expert, there are so many experts that share across in my area of expertise, live video strategists. There's not that many strategists, live video strategists, but there are a number of video marketing coaches. So in my area of expertise, how do I stand out? How would you stand out in that space if you're leaving your personality at the door? That's the difference maker. So you can be professional. You can be seen as the thought leader. You can be the leading expert within your field by bringing in the thing that sets you apart from everyone else, which is your personality. Is this making sense? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Let me know in the comments. So when it comes to the attraction part, that's really, really important. All right, really, really important. I hope that this is making sense. And let me know if you have any questions. If anything you're like, Janine, I'm not sure. That's what I am here for. So the next thing I want to say to you is, well, what will make your audience want to stick around? So we've talked now about the attraction. We've talked about the mindset. We've talked about attracting them, so hooking them to your content. So now that you've got their attention with your USP, with the value proposition, making it very clear, all of the things, now what's going to make them stick around? Granted, I will say this, gone are the days where people would sit around for long periods of time watching hours upon hours of live stream. People are watching live streams, they are consuming a lot more, but it takes a lot more to get people to complete the live stream, simply because the nature of and just the whole landscape of video marketing with short form video content and how we consume, with the world being opened up after, what happened in 2020, people are, there's a lot less of an attention span. However, you still can attract and retain your audience, keep their attention, keep them engaged for a lot longer, so that you start to develop the know, love, and trust and accelerate that. So how are we looking at doing that? So how are we looking at retention, keeping our audience? What will keep your audience watching for longer? Well, number one, there's going to be some overlap. It's going to be the clarity in your messaging. So the clarity in your messaging is going to be who you are, what you do, and the what's in it for them. You have to demonstrate that in a very clear, concise, precise way when you're doing your live streams. I don't know if any of you have noticed that there is an absolute structure when it comes to my live streams. And if you want to learn this structure, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do exactly that so that you are attracting and retaining your audience and getting more watch time if it's YouTube and getting more people to take action on your content. Please do stick around. So retention is really important, clarity in the message, the execution of your live sessions. As I've said, there is a framework that I have, that I adhere to, that I stick to, that I do not move away from. And as I said, I'm going to invite you to learn how to do that in a moment. But I'll give you an example. So for example, last week, I had a number of people in the live streams. There were some people that were watching, that's fine. And there were some people that were engaging. I had one particular community member who hadn't been to one of my lives for a little while, who was somebody that I recognized from the Facebook community that jumped into my live. So as I was making a specific point, I recognized, know her, know a bit of her backstory. She's also a live streamer as well. I actually brought her into the point that I was making. So I used her as an example for the point that I was making with a little quick introduction to her. So it was basically giving her attention without distracting the audience, because I was relating her to the point. What happened? She stayed till the end of the live. She was very engaged in the live, and it ended with us having a conversation after the live stream, all because I strategically and tactically brought her into the conversation. And I will teach you how to do that. But as you develop your skill set and you get better at doing this, you're going to see people watching your content for longer. So it's execution of the live stream. Inclusivity is really important. Now, I want to ask you, are you inviting people? Have you thought about inviting people into the conversation? And yes, I know this can be a little bit more challenging when you are going live and you either have 0 people watching or a very small audience, or they don't seem as if they're being responsive to what you're saying. However, you still need to package your live stream so that you are creating the culture and you're getting people used to hearing you, bringing them into the conversation. So at the appropriate time, when they are ready, they will start to be responsive. Don't be frightened of a live stream that seems as if it has low attention or low audience participation, because if you package it right, you will get people that will respond at a later stage. Don't forget the power of the replay. A lot of people do forget that. So the final thing that I want to talk to you about in terms of retention is that you will keep people a lot longer if you are creating an experience for them. If you are like watching white on white, information after information, then people will drop off. They will drop off because nobody wants to be watching paint dry. So I just want to encourage you to start thinking about some of these things. And I really do hope that this is making sense. So the next point that I want to say is, well, what do you need to do going forward? So you're thinking about some of the things that I've shared with you. What do you need to do going forward? If you are saying, right, I do want to attract more people to my audience, I do want to attract more people to my live stream content, I do want to start developing engaged live streams, I do want to have people that take action on my content, then what do you need to do? So here are some of the things that I want to share with you. You need to have a framework to your lives. I don't want any of you going forward just going into your lives without there being a plan or a framework to it. If you have structure and you have a framework, you are going to get better results. Hello, Mimi. How are you? Thank you very much for being here. And thank you very much for catching me live. We definitely do have to look at doing a collaboration. Guys, I just want to say, if you are wanting to lean into LinkedIn audio as I am wanting to, then Mimi Langley, that you can see on the screen right now, is an audio expert, not just on LinkedIn, but also on Clubhouse. So definitely make sure that you connect with her. It is good to see you here. So the reminder is you need to have a framework. So how will you structure, how will you have a framework? Well, I want you to think about the structure of your live stream, as I was mentioning. And in this framework, you've got to think about your introduction, all right? Introductions are so important. Most business owners are starting their introductions on their live streams with a whole lot about themselves. Hi, my name is, I am a, I do this, I work with, I teach this, I've spoken at this, I've got this many awards. And we're sitting there saying, okay, bye. See you later. Hello, Carla. I didn't realize you were here as well. Carla Jenkins, which is over on the old tube of you, says, yes, structure important. Stay on topic and don't ramble don't ramble on and on. And I want to just say, Carla mentioned last week as well. She's part of the YouTube family and has been strong with me for many years. Good to see you, Carla. Carla mentioned this last week. Don't ramble on. And Carla is somebody who's intentional that comes to the lives, and she is someone who shares. So this is what is the power of community, but you have to build that with them. And you are very welcome, very, very much welcome, Nimi. So yeah, you don't want to be rambling at all. You want to have that constructive framework, all right? Structure. Think about your introduction. It's so important. Like I said, many business owners are going on and on and on about themselves and have not explained in that introduction why we should be there. We hear it all the time about short form video content. You've got to have a hook, but then it gets lost in the live video source, and we can't do that. So your introduction is important, but if you are paying attention to what I'm sharing with you, I never ever start my live streams saying, hi, my name is Janine. I'm a live video strategist. I do get to that, but I always start with the value proposition, the what's in it for you watching on the other side of the screen. So if you take nothing away from today's session, have a look at my lives. You will never see me starting with me. It's always about you, demonstrating why you should be watching. So that's a pro tip for those of you. Please make sure that you're doing that. So think about how you're going to engage. Think about next steps for your audience. Think about creating the experience, and I will keep banging on about it. Now, remember, just flicking back on that again. Remember what I was saying, how are you going to engage? How are you going to create the experience? How are you going to get people to take action on your content? For those of you that were here earlier on, you heard me talking about how I brought a member last week, a community member last week into the conversation. I gave an example of that, and you would have seen me demonstrate it on this live stream if you were paying attention. I demonstrated that with both Mimi and also with Carla. I hope that you caught it. So the next thing I want to say to you is this, my friends. Do you want to know how to do the things that we have been talking about? Do you want to cut your learning curve in half and learn how to do this to set yourself apart from everybody else right now? We talked about last week the evolution of live stream, where it's set to be by 2027. We talked about Gary Vee last week, who is leaning into live video, live streaming as his priority in 2024. Why? Because Gary understands the power of live stream, and also the fact that there is still a wide window, because there are people that are live streaming, but the majority of people are not doing it in opting for other things, which, we have to have an eclectic mix of our strategy, but they're missing a mark. You are potentially missing the mark, and I don't want you to do that. So do you want to learn this yourself this year? Do you want to? Give me a hand up emoji, live or replay, if you want to learn this. And if you're still thinking, I'm not quite sure, let's talk about it. So let's talk about why you will need a live video framework. Well, you need a live video framework because you need to think about how you're going to attract the audience to your content. And yes, I'm not saying that you can't do this in other forms. Absolutely, you can. But let's think about where there is a window of opportunity for you, especially those of you that are watching on LinkedIn. So the people that are doing lives, they are small in comparison with the wider community. And I've had a lot of conversations with people. I know that there is this whole thing around, there's a bit of fear around it, or not knowing how to do it. And LinkedIn there are all these different things. But we must not wait until everything is perfect before we actually move, right? Because don't wait for it to be saturated. Take center stage, get ahead of the curve. I will help you to do that. So you want to attract your audience. You want to use live video to build your community. You want to nurture your new connections, your new subscribers, your new followers, friends, whatever, depending on the platform. You want to build and accelerate the trust because live video allows you to do that. And you also, thank you for the love on Facebook, you also want to increase your leads and sales. Guys, don't forget to like this video. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to like. I know Carla over on YouTube will have shared this over to Twitter X. Those of you that are here, oh, well, here, you are here. But if you're on LinkedIn and you are a connection, please do share this with others. Do pay it forward. It helps, obviously, for this to go out to more people. But it's also, for me, it's more about getting more of you the help and support that you need. I want to build a community of live streamers across the platforms, but especially in places where there are those of you that are still not confident, don't know how to do it, aren't quite leveraging. You have a window to do things and stand out from everybody else. So let's talk about this live video framework and how you are going to be able to do this. So this is what I'm really excited about, my friends. I'm very, very excited about this because I am going to be running my 5-day live video challenge, the Go Live in 5 challenge. If you don't know about the Go Live in 5 challenge, you are about to get to know, my friends, because the Go Live in 5 challenge is the #1 challenge to help you get visible with live video, to gain your confidence, and to start executing in a way that is going to set you apart from everyone else. We don't want to be the same as everyone else. We don't want to do that. We don't. I don't want you to be the same as everybody else. I want you to have a standout presentation, live video presentation as the expert that you are. I'm going to teach you all of the things that's going to help you better attract your audience, get them to engage, keep them engaged for longer, and get them to take action on your content. So you can see the information at the bottom. I will link it in the description on YouTube. I will link it in the comments on LinkedIn and also on Facebook so that you have the information. So the Go Live in 5 challenge is starting on Monday, the 3rd of June. It was actually supposed to be this month, but due to my accident that I had, unfortunately, it just couldn't happen earlier, me having the accident, dislocating my knee. So myself and my team, we've had to rejig things, but we are going to start the first week in June, which I'm really, really excited about. It's going to be 5 days of coaching, 5 days of me showing you the strategy, giving you the breakdown for this framework that I have created. It's my own signature framework. It's not a cookie cutter one. It's one that you can apply to your own strategy to nurture your own community and build your brand effectively. I know you are already doing that on the platforms, but this is about doing it with greater intention, greater execution with live video. So this is a huge, huge opportunity for you. And I don't want any of you to miss out on this challenge. So if you want to join the live video challenge, you would go to, the information is there at the bottom. Go to bit.ly/go live in 5 new. It's all lowercase. It's going to be an absolutely phenomenal challenge. I am so excited. Whenever I bring this challenge to you, I'm very, very excited. I've been running this challenge since 2016, and it's had a lot of changes and iterations over the years as I've gotten feedback from challengers as to how to make this the awesome sauce cake that is fully baked. So come and join us. Come and join us on Monday the 3rd. Sign up and secure your space now. As I said, all the information will be linked. This is your opportunity to explore live video in a safe way and space that's going to give you the clarity, that's going to give you the confidence, that's going to give you the understanding, that's going to set you apart from others. And you are going to start going live and understanding how you can use it to, as I said, build your community, build that trust, generate those leads that lead to conversion. So make sure that you sign up for the challenge. So if you weren't sure what we were talking about today, if you weren't sure what we were talking about, Is your live video content good or bad? I hope that this has started to give you some food for thought. Let me know if you have any questions. Please, please, please make sure that you drop me a DM if you would like to ask me a question in private. But no question is silly. So I would say to you, if you have a question, you're catching this live or you're watching this on the replay, drop it into the comments below. And again, my friends, if you have enjoyed today's session, please do pay it forward, whether you're on Facebook, whether you are on YouTube, or you are on LinkedIn. There is somebody, if this, you might be saying, oh, this is not for me, I don't need this. But if that's the case, that's fine. But there's somebody within your networks that will need this, that's looking for this right now, looking for the help that I can provide. So please, please, please do share this. And you can sign up for the challenge. Oopsie doopsies. Buy the ticket there. The information is there. Like I said, it will be linked for you. So I hope that today's session has been of benefit to you. I hope that you've gotten something to think about, that the breakdown, the 5 key questions that I asked you, and then given a breakdown for each one. I hope that this has given you something to think about. I will be back live later on this week. You'll be seeing me. We're going to talk, I think, I'm not sure if we're going to do this on Wednesday or Thursday, but we are going to be talking about confidence, and we are going to be talking about some other key things. But if there are topics that you want to see me cover when it comes to live video strategy, then please do drop it into the comments. But I do hope to see you on the Go Live in 5 challenge starting Monday, the 3rd of June. You will not be disappointed. It will transform your life. Even if you just get to the challenge stage, even if you just do 1 day of the challenge, it's going to be transformative for your business, for your brand, how you are showing up when you live stream. You're going to have so much more understanding, so much more confidence, and you're going to see improvements in how people respond to you, even for part 1 of the framework. And if you do check out the actual landing page, you will see there are testimonials from previous challenges as well. So I really, really do look forward to you being with us on the challenge. So today, that is it. Thank you so much for being here. You could have been anywhere across the social platforms, but you chose to stay here with me, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Mimi, for being here. Thank you so much for saying yes to a collaboration. Thank you to Carla Jenkins holding it down in the YouTube streets. I can see a couple of people over there as well. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Joyanne, for being here as well. And Elizabeth, who I met earlier on today. Appreciate you being here as well. And Lady Vay, who joined us on Facebook. So we had representation across the platforms. It's so, so, so good to have been here with you. I hope that you've enjoyed today's session. From my heart to yours, I pray you nothing but greatness, that you start going forward like the live video boss that you are. And I will see you back here on the next session. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you then.